Hello, it's Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Keystone Bullet Crossfire 1900 RD travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of a camping experience. Let's start by arriving at the campsite. A couple things to think about when you're parking. On your campsite, I want you to leave plenty of room for an awning. On your off camp, no slide to worry about. I really just want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your water is going to be toward the front of the unit here. And then your power is going to be right behind your tire on your driver's side tow vehicle. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive, unhook our hitch. First thing you're going to do is level our unit. You have a power tongue jack, night docking light should you arrive at night. EXT for extend, raise. RET is retract to bring it down. Now your unit, the door is almost in the middle. That'd be a good spot to stick a level on. Get this up and down until you're level. Once you are level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. Now, should you lose power, you do have a rubber stopper right here that stabilizing hand crank will get on this and get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery post every now and then. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. Again, we got our unit level. Now we're going to stabilize it. 3/4 inch hand crank or a drill gun. Impact driver may be a little strong for it. You don't have far to go. These run down pretty quick. You're only going to run these down until they're taut. Now I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads will protect the feet of these from dirt and debris. It'll keep them from sinking into hot blacktop at some of these campsites. Put them down and run these down just until they're taut on that pad. Once it feels like it's going to start lifting the unit, that's when you want to stop. Remember, our unit's already level. We just want to stabilize it. So get all 4 of those down, all 4 corners. Got it level and stable. Hook up our power and water. Big long 30 amp cord here, plugs in on the side. Once that's in, turn it to the right a little bit and then put that gray washer on there and that'll lock that in there for you. Now at the end of that 30 amp service in your convenience pack will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer in case you need to plug into a 110. Got your power hooked up, let's hook up your water. At campsites we are going to hook up to city water connection. First and foremost, a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce water pressure to 40 to 50 psi. It's going to protect the lines in your unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites, so always use these. Hook that up, hook up your hose. Don't turn on your hose yet. Open up your hot water heater here. Just make sure that your pressure release valve's down, otherwise water's going to start pouring out of there. So, got that down, go ahead and turn that hose on. Now after that hose been on for a few minutes, go inside. Open up your water, your sinks, your showers, get a nice steady flow of water going through them. You can shut them off and you're all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to go dry camping, boondocking we like to call it. In that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank. No need for a water pressure regulator here. You can just gravity fill this with a hose. 2 ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right there, or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Once it's full, remove that hose, put this cap on there, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump indoors. Don't turn on your water pump and hook the city water that's already pressurized. All right, we're all set. We got power and water. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. Starting here on our off-camp side, we got a big pass-through storage area. Again, our freshwater city water. Usually where a freshwater is a freshwater drain. Over there is going to be our low point drains. Coming back up here to our hot water heater. On-demand hot water. There's your sewage hose. There's where you dump your sewage. Black and gray tanks. Flue for your furnace. Few things on that. 1, make sure it's never blocked. 2, if you are running your furnace, steer clear of that. It does get hot. Plug in cable here for the campsites. Again, our power. Storage area. I recommend getting a cover for this spare tire. Keep it from getting dry rotted in the sun. You want that to be good when you need it. You prep for a camera from Keystone. Down here is where you can store your sewage hose when you're done. Coming over to our campsite, let's talk awnings. Awnings are made for shade. You can leave them out in a light rain, but I recommend bringing them in rain or heavy winds. Save yourself the trouble. You got a vent for your hood range indoors. A couple more 110s out here. This is an inverted outlet, so that can run off your inverter if you're dry camping. Other side of our pass-through storage here has all of your hitch work. This is actually the hand crank that will get on this. Some of these come with these short ones. Other models just have the one that'll fit both. But this will be easier for you to use. Getting that on there to get this up and down. There's your battery disconnect. Right behind that, that'll shut off all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide detector. And then here you're prepped for solar. You can plug in a solar panel right there and that'll trickle charge your batteries. Propane, lefty loosey to open. That about covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. Alright, coming up inside your unit, first thing I always like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Up to my left is my control panel. Starting here on my left is your battery. Fresh black and gray tanks. They have several on here for campers that have more than one. Here's where you turn on your water pump for your fresh water. Here's where you turn on your porch light, ceiling light. That's set up for glide room if you had it. And your awning. Let's talk your awning. Your awning, you only want to run that out until you can see your bar and that flap has fallen down to 90 degrees. If I were to hold that extend down, that will keep running itself out and flip up onto itself and start running itself up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you're running this out. Also, another thing on your awning, your door must be at 90 degrees. If it's open any more than that, you see it'll just run into your awning. So your awning door has to be at least closed a little bit in order to get that in or out. As it comes in, I'll shut off the awning light and tell you these doors work best when it's gently slammed. Cooktop here, that will be used with a stick lighter. Hit the light high, use a stick lighter to light this. Put your top down for travel. Microwave. We got a fan or light. Open it, stop it. Over here you got one-touch lighting. Plumbing, let's talk that. In your bathroom, in your sink, or in your kitchen, there's your access panels to your plumbing. Keep an eye on things. It's mostly PEX nowadays. Pretty sturdy stuff. But if you travel a lot in this, you're bouncing this up and down the road a lot. Keep an eye on some things. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. We got our TV up here with a safety strap. That'll hold that in for traveling. Biggest thing on your TV is when you get to the campsite, go into your menu, go into digital channel scan, run a scan. That'll help you pick up your local channels.
Done.
As we did here.
Cherry tree. Cherry tree.
Remote's in your bag full of manuals. And I'm sure you know that your tabletop here will lift up off these legs, remove these legs, put that top on these edges here, put your flat cushions on top, whole another place to sleep. AC up here, crank that up there. More lighting here. Emergency escape window. Flip this up and out of there, like so. Push that forward, snatch your screen out, and you are up and out. Breaker box and fuses. You have a handful of 15s, a 10, a 30, and a 40. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. Your fridge has a safety latch. Remember, you do have controls in here, and this is 12 volt. This will be running off your battery, so make sure that it is off. Come down the hall, there's our smoke alarm and a thermos, or furnace, excuse me. Turn the thermostat up for the furnace. You hear that running. Now, when I shut that off, you will hear that furnace fan run through first a little while before it shuts off. All of them do it. Coming into the bathroom, give your toilet a couple flushes when you arrive. Your black tank will thank you later for putting a liquid in there before you put any solids in. 110 with GFCI reset. We do have a hand crank open exhaust vent up here. Our shower. There's the other plumbing that I said to keep an eye on. More access to your plumbing in that little panel there. Below our thermostat is our 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mentioned that's 12 volt, that's always running off your battery. So if you are out dry camping and you're going to be gone for the day and you don't want this to run your battery down, use that battery disconnect. That'll keep that from running your battery down while you're gone. Our bedding area has this big storage underneath, and that about covers everything in here. So, act like we're getting ready to leave the campsite. Close the unit up. Again, if you haven't camped before, securing everything down, battening down the hatches they call it, is the most important thing. You don't want things bouncing around in here smashing your trailer up. Oh, lastly up here before I get ready to close it up, here's where you turn on and off your hot water heater. Alright, so I'm going to shut off my ceiling light. That way I can look and see any other lighting that's out is accent lighting. Shut my bathroom, of course. Make sure that vent's closed up there. All our lights are off. Come back to my ceiling control light. And this is where I say doors and drawers. Walk through your unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to be bouncing all over the place while you're heading down the road. Shut off our light and exit the unit. Now before you leave the dump station, I say that because you're going to go in here and watch your tank says you're dumping. Before you leave the dump station, lock, deadbolt, lift, and turn this handle. That's how you want that door to travel. Steps just fold once and then tuck in. Alright, if we are out dry camping, we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks. Get up underneath here to that single one right there and dump our freshwater tank. And head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we are out at a campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, our cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks, and head on up to the dump station. Now at the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is going to be right in front of your tires on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. 10-foot hose comes with your convenience pack. Hook that up, and as you see, black tank is on the right. We're going to pull this right handle. That's going to be your sewage. When it sounds like it's no longer dumping, go inside, look at the level of your black tank. Looks empty, come back out here, close that black, and pull your gray handle. That's going to be cleaning waters, your sinks, your showers. Usually while those are draining, I will go ahead and dump my low point drains. When we're done, we're going to close that gray. We're going to grab our sewage hose, and with this unit, conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in the end. A little easy with two hands, but store that in there, put your cap on, and head on home. Again, we thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Crossfire for many years to come. Happy camping.